All right, Baz. The worst thought of reality is here.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't see this happen, and no
Yeah.
one did. I
Not-
mean,
not-
they couldn't put away Memphis.
Well, Sully, yeah, it's hard to believe that you watch that first half and that we lost this game, but we knew that the Memphis was scrappy. Second week in a row where the offense doesn't do well in the second half, and we said this was a must-win game. We said this was a must-win game if you're Arkansas. You can't come into Memphis and lose this game.
Yeah.
I don't care how good Memphis is; they're not ranked.
Yeah.
They haven't played anybody, and Arkansas had the chance, dominated the first half for the most part offensively.
Yeah.
Defense, you just see the defense is a wreck.
And you got a fan base that's sick of seeing you lose this way. I mean, the final minutes, you keep them in the game, and you fail to convert in winning time. I mean, Memphis made a play.
Yeah, exact same thing as last week. The winning drive,
Yeah.
you cause a fumble, but Sully, we said Sam Pitman had to win this game. You can't lose it.
Yeah.
You just can't lose this game. You
Yeah.
can't lose this game when you got Notre Dame coming up Tennessee.
Yeah.
This is the easy part of the season,
Yeah.
And you won 2 games.
Yeah, what's going on with the offense? 7 points in the second half last week. We know the defense is bad. I'm shook. We know the defense is bad. The offense has got to score. I mean, 3 points in the second half.
Yeah, I think, Sully, we noticed that they got away from Braylon Russell. The first half, Braylon Russell was unstoppable. They just got a rhythm. And let me tell you, you got to give credit to Memphis too. Let me tell you, that's a scrappy defense, well coached, high football IQ. They started making plays and adjustments, and we sort of got out of rhythm. And we'd move down the field, all of a sudden we'd make a mistake.
And defensively, you had the huge bust late on the run. I know you were trying to analyze that. It doesn't seem like there's any layers to the defense. It's once you break free, it's home free.
Yeah, I get a lot of comments you see on social media. Is this the worst defense we've ever had? And I hate it because these young men are trying their best. But here's the deal, Sully. It's the same thing. This is not a fundamentally sound defense. They are making mistakes every play on defense. You've got to be in the right place, and they're not at the right place. And they gave up the 60-yard run. And where's anybody on the edge? There was nobody on the edge. And so it's the same thing over and over again. I think obviously this season is done. If you're losing games like this already, and you've got your toughest part of the schedule coming up, I just don't see how they can move forward in the next year with the same coaching staff.
In reality, it's a monster, just a horrible week for the program. You got Hunter Yurachek says some things. The Touchdown Club has got a lot of folks riled up. And you got Sam Pitman here, and just the frustration. I mean, you hate losing, but all these close games where you're in position to win, you feel like you have the better team, and you're not getting it done.
Yeah, and the first half, Sully, Taylor Green, we were talking about, he had 300 yards of total offense. He had a couple touchdown passes, and the offense looked on target. And then all of a sudden, the second half, they made adjustments. And we weren't as effective. And all of a sudden, the defense, again, can't stop that team. I mean, this game looked like we had it in control, but we don't have – it's the same situation with Sam Pitman. We don't have that killer mentality to close the game out, and it's gone on and on. I think fans are just frustrated and tired. And we said this was a must-win, Sully.
Yeah.
We said this was a must. You can't come to Memphis and lose this game.
You said earlier in the week it's not a question of when, it's how quick they act. I hate to say what happened Monday could have a factor on what happens with Sam Pitman.
I don't think because Sam Pitman was hired by Hunter Yurachek, he's not going to fire him this weekend. I think they'll give him the chance to bounce back against Notre Dame to see if can this team rally and beat Notre Dame. If you lose to Notre Dame again, then you've got the toughest part of your schedule coming up.
Yeah.
And I just don't see him do it. I don't see him doing it now, even though I know there's a lot of people that will say, let's move on now. I think he'll give this team a chance because again, 2 games in a row, Sully, you've had the chance to win.
Yeah.
But after years and years, you've got to win these games, and I just think they'll give him the chance to go to Notre Dame.
He hates to hear the number 7 and 19, I think, in one-score games. It's happening every year now. There's got to be something going on. I mean,
yeah. Well, the difference is, Sully, this is Memphis. This is Memphis. Right. This is not an SEC team. Yeah. So Memphis now has beaten four SEC teams in a row here in Memphis, and it doesn't need to be us. And there's consequences when you lose the game.
You're talking about their defense and how well coached they were. When we throw a ball on the outside, they'd rally teammates to help other teammates, and you're not seeing that on the Arkansas side. They're not fundamentally sound.
Yeah, again, I talk about football IQ, not how smart you are, but the ability to run after the tackles, to game tackles, to be in the right place, to not, to do every assignment, to follow your assignments. This defense struggles, and I like Travis Williams, but boy, these players are not responding to the coaching for whatever reason. And you know, I don't care how good you look. If you don't play smart football, you're going to get beat like today.
Yeah, you talk about want to, that last play, just bizarre. I mean, they're running.
That's a great
Think
example.
about that.
You're trying to stop them, and this backup quarterback runs the ball and just runs right through the middle of the defense, carrying defenders for 10 yards. Listen, how do you not have 10 guys on him, stopping him right there in his tracks?
Yeah, you just wonder about the want to sometimes, and it's just.
Let me tell you this too, Sully. You know, I know that we signed certain players, and their numbers were great. Are we signing the right kind of guys up here and in here?
Yeah.
You know, because part of the game is here and here. That's what Memphis had today, up here and in here. I just wonder if we, in the transfer portal world, are we getting those kind of guys? Listen, I know Taylon Green is one of those guys, but I don't know on defense if we have enough of those kind of guys. We've got some, but I don't know if we have 11 on the, starting every game.
You mentioned, too, having the killer mentality, that when you have the offense to get that done, when you have someone down to put them away. I know there's probably no one more frustrated right now than Bobby Petrino. That offense just couldn't get it done when they needed to in the second half.
Oh, I know Coach Petrino is not happy about that. What's 3 points? Is that what? No, 10. Was it 10 or 3? That's right. You didn't get the score there. Wow. Yeah, to hold that offense to 3 points in the second half. Amazing effort by Memphis, and they wanted it bad. And I know Coach Petrino is going to go back and look. And again, I hated to not see Braylon Russell, who ran so well in the first half.
Yeah.
Of course, there at that last drive, you saw Washington running the ball well there, but just couldn't finish it. You got to hold on that ball, Steve.
Yeah, it's just bizarre that your only fumble in 2 straight weeks cost you the game.
Last drive of the game.
Yeah, when you're driving to win the game.
Yeah,
It's almost like I don't know, we're cursed or Pitman's jinxed or something.
I'm looking. There's a lot of disappointed fans in red here, and the only alternative. I mean, I just don't see. Everybody likes Sam. You got to win, and you got to come here to win. You could not lose this game after losing to Ole Miss. You can't come here to lose to Memphis, and now you got Notre Dame, Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, LSU, Texas.
Yeah, and you had this game where you had a chance to put it out of reach.
Yeah. Well, you did. It was what was it? 28-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so again, we just have not had that ability, killer mentality to put a team down. Listen, go back to Bielema. We didn't have it with Bielema. We had close games and finish them, and we just haven't been able to.
Yeah, so we'll be going to the press conference. What can Sam Pitman even say after a game like this? And it's the same thing as last week. The offense was lights out in the first half, did nothing and the defense couldn't come up with stops they needed to.
Yeah, he knows this was a lethal loss. This was a lethal loss. This is something he knew he couldn't come here and lose this game. I know you always have to have that attitude. Well, we can bounce back against Notre Dame and those things, but this is Memphis. They're not even ranked. You got to beat. They're not in the SEC. They're in the AC. And so you got to win this game. I give credit to them, man. They fought, man. I was impressed with the way they hustled and their football IQ that I watched. And we got a long way to go. I know there's a lot of frustrated fans. I hate it, and I hate it for the staff. But that was a lethal loss.
Yeah, you go back to the end of the game too when you have a chance to. I mean, a minute with Taylon Green at midfield. I'm betting on Arkansas.
Yeah, same thing as last week.
So they're going to run. Yeah. They bring in a kid that's not a quarterback to run up the middle, and he carries your 330-pound defensive tackle. It's a team deal.
That was a snapshot. That last play was a snapshot of the way our defense has been this year. It's like, where's everybody at? Yeah. The game, stop the quarterback from running 15 yards up the middle. It's like, where's everybody at? So, yeah, I think that's a great snapshot of sort of where this defense has been.
Yeah, it's just hard to take. I mean, when you see the potential offensively with this team, and you're 2-2 in this brutal schedule, and to me, you had such a great opportunity. You had back-to-back games, ABC, 11 a.m. You had Notre Dame coming next week. Get the job done at Memphis and move on,
The problem, Sully, we talked about this, it's going to be hard to find W's. Here's some excited folks back there. It's hard to find W's on the schedule. This was one you had to have because you got Notre Dame, you got Tennessee, this was one of those ones you needed the W, and you're coming over to Memphis. Yeah. You got to win this game.
How disappointing is the defensive effort coming off last week, where they said they simplified stuff? They'd be much better.
Well, I mean,
it's not the it's not the X's and O's. I think it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Yeah, let me tell you, they are who they are, Sully. And like I said, there's some good kids on that team. Quincy Rose Jr. I love his effort. But this just defense, I think it's shown. And they were moving guys in and out trying to find solutions, and they just again, what did Memphis have? 500
that's
yards of
right.
offense,
Yeah.
just like Ole Miss. This is just not a good defense, and I think they just got some of the wrong players out there. Let's go to the press conference. See what Coach has to
you
say.
can gauge the fan base.
Yeah.
Highly frustrated. I mean, what do you think happens this week?
I don't think anything happens. I think that Hunter Yurchek hired Sam Pitman. I think he's going to give Sam the chance to go in and get the upset next week against Notre Dame. But this was it doesn't get any easier. So I think it's just a matter of time just to lose this game the way they did. It's a long. Listen, this is only game 4.
Yeah.
You got 8 more games, and the 8 games you played are all ranked teams. I think every team we played moving out of here are ranked, Sully.
Yeah.
So
I remember looking at this schedule and thinking, this didn't look good. Memphis in Memphis, the way they played, and this is their Super Bowl, and just sad that you had a chance. I know the camera's going all over the place. You had a chance to put them away, and didn't do that.
yeah, again, and that's been the MO. And I know Sam doesn't like to hear it, and I'm sure you have a chance to win games. You got to find ways to win. Everybody gets paid a lot of money up there to find ways to win games, and you got to win them. I hate it for our fan base. I hate it for Razorback fans because it's brutal. It's you never want to lose to Memphis, and when you don't, there's consequences. And I hate it for those players because they work hard to win, but that was just another loss. You're like, wow. And it's not. Listen, there are no answers for the defense right now. There's nowhere to go. You're not trading any players. It's just they are who they are, and the tough road is ahead.
You mentioned mentioned several times during that game, watching it, how well coached Memphis was, how they rallied to help to get guys out in the corner. For Arkansas, it's basically you're on your own.
You can look at a team's mentality on defense, where they run to the ball and how they have multiple players running the ball, and then you see that snapshot there at the end of the game there, and then just again long 60-yard run in the fourth quarter, Sully. I mean, that was the difference in the game.
You expect layers of the defense. When he broke free, he was gone.
Yeah, it's just, again, you can look around for answers. I just don't know what they're going to be able to do now. Like I said, it's only 4 games in the season, and we got 8 tough ones ahead.
Yeah. All right, we're going to head to the locker room. We'll tell you what Sam Pitman said when we get done. Hogs lose 32-31.